Everybody. So today po, we will be discussing electric fields. Ito po ay isa sa mga topic na part po, okay? Part po ng inyong terminal exam. So it involves, again, computations and some additional equations po, which is, I assume, ay na-discuss na during your previous years or kaya yung iba sa atin ay ma-encounter pa lang po first hand ngayon. So you really have to you really have to give time, okay, para mapanood at intindihin yung ating discussion. Okay? Sige po. So yung discussion na to class, meron po siyang kahalintulad dun sa electrostatic force. Why? Kasi may part po dun sa computations sa electrostatic force na po pwede nyo pong ma-apply dito. Okay. Paano po yun, Ma'am Dan? Saan pong parte? Okay. Meron pong part dito, class, na ang computation din ay electric field strength in a superposition principle. So, superposition principle, ano yung concepts na diniscuss natin doon? Ito po yung pag-identify ng net electric field considering yung formed X and Y components, okay, ng mismong electric fields po. So, yun po yung konsepto na kung saan may i-apply nyo po dito ulit. Yun nga lang, may pagkakaibahan lang po, may malaking pagkakaibahan lang po dun sa equations na gagamitin. Okay? So, i-explain na po natin, ano po ba yung concept na electric field na to? Or what is an electric field? So, let's imagine na lang po, class, na maglalagay po tayo ng isang mabahong bagay sa isang closed area. Okay? Which is, hindi po natin alam kung saan siya nakalagay. Okay? So, let's say, for instance, madilim po ito. Okay? So, nilagay natin siya somewhere within that closed room. Okay, anong gagamitin natin for us to detect an unusual smell within that room? So, syempre, we will use our, yung natural sense natin or detector, which is yung ating ilong. Okay, so, gamit ang ating ilong, ayan, yung nose po ninyo, yan po yung magsisilbing sensor natin. Or kaya, yan po yung magsisilbing detector natin ng alin? Nung smell or kaya naman po ay bad odor. Okay. So, itong bad odor na to, class, it represents your electric field. So, ibig sabihin, ito po yung hindi man natin siya nararamdaman, pero kaya po natin siyang i-sense. Okay? Through its smell or odor. Okay? Para ma-detect po natin to sa in particular distance po. So, syempre, dapat meron po tayong sensor or detector, which is naturally yung nose po natin. Okay. Pero in terms of electric field, itong sensor or yung detector po natin, that represents your test charge. Okay. So, itong test charge na to, siya po yung responsible in detecting, okay, detecting and measuring the direction and magnitude of your electric field. So in short, pag sinabi po natin electric field, ito po yung tinutukoy natin as your, alin po? Yung tinutukoy natin as space field, space field around, okay? Around a charge. Okay, so pakitandaan po. Ulitin natin. Pag sinabi po natin na electric field, it is the space field around a charge. Na kung saan madedetect at ma-measure lamang po gamit ang ating test charge. Na kung saan itong test charge na to, pag masyado po siyang malapit dun sa source, ibig sabihin it intensifies or meaning masyadong malakas yung space field na masasense po niya. Pero pag masyado po siyang malayo, then ibig sabihin, lesser lang po yung masasense po niya. Okay, which is why very important po sana na napanood po ninyo or at least na-simulate po ninyo yung binigay ko na reference last time. Okay. To explain it further, pag sinabi po natin space field, it is a vector quantity. Meaning, meron po siyang magnitude at meron din po siyang direction. Okay. So, kung titignan po natin, class, magnitude and direction, katulad niya po si electrostatic force. Okay? Ito pong electrostatic force na to, class, meron po siyang a relationship kay electric field. Ano po yun, Ma'am Dan? In analogy with your gravitational field, meron tayong tinutukoy na gravitational force. Tama po. So, yung gravitational force na to, ito daw po yung force na maaring ma-experience ng mga objects with masses. Okay? Due to your gravitational field. Okay? Same with electric field po. So due to this existing charges in a system, either positive or negative na nagke-create ng electric field, then meron po silang kani-kanyang forces. So pag naglagay po kayo ng dalawang charges in a system or kaya in a particular fixed point or distance, makaka-experience po sila ng force. Okay. Yung force na yan, maari po nating malaman depende sa nature or sign ng existing charges. According to fourth principle po, the same charges attract, opposite charges repel. So meaning, pag meron tayong dalawang positive, repulsive force yun. Pag dalawang negative, repulsive force po yun. Pero kung opposite po yan, negative and positive, anong type of force? Attractive force po yun. Okay? So, using this equation, F is equal to KQ1, Q2 over R squared, pwede po tayong makapag-formulate ng isa sa pinaka-importanteng equation to find for the magnitude ng electric field. Okay? So, magagamit po natin yan mamaya. Okay. Next, pag sinabi po natin electric field, eto na po, sabi dito, an electric field is the region around a charged object where charges experiences a force. Okay. Example po, meron po tayong positive charge dito, class. Pag sinabi nating positive charge, at i-describe po natin yung kanyang electric field, tandaan po, it is always radially outwards. Okay, pag sinabing radially outwards, papalabas po siya. Okay, so meron daw po siyang field force. Okay, yung field force na yan po ay technically termed as electrostatic force. Okay, na kung saan in-explain na natin kanina. If there are two positive charges, ito po ay repulsive. Same with both negative, pero attractive pag opposite po sila. Okay, Ma'am Dan, paano po pag negative naman? Okay, pag negative naman po ang source charge ninyo, ang direction ng field lines ay inwards or radially inwards. Okay, radially inwards po. Okay na? So, radially inwards po. Okay, next. Meron din po tayong third description kung ano ba talaga ang ibig sabihin ng electric field. Number 3. Sabi po dito, express a force per unit area or E is equal to F over Q, where F is equal to force and Q is equal to charge. So, ang isa sa mga SI unit natin ay newtons per coulombs. Mamdana ng ibig sabihin ng variables E, F, and Q. So, pag sinabi po natin E, ito po yung tinutukoy natin na electric field strength. Ang F naman po is your force experienced by the test charge. And Q naman po is the magnitude of the test charge. Okay, now, let's proceed to the identifying of the rules ng pag-create or pag-draw ng mga field lines. Okay, number 1. Rule number 1 po, line start on a positive charge and ends on negative. Okay, another thing, density of lines equal field strength, line never cross. So, explain ko po siya siya using this illustration. So let's start with positive, radially outwards po. And then second, negative charge po, radially inwards. Okay, so let's observe po itong third image. So as you can see, meron po akong dalawang positive charges. Okay, so kung titignan po ninyo, since they have the same nature of being positive charge, magre-repel lang po sila. Okay, pero ang repulsion na yan ay dinidescribe din nung first explanation natin kanina, which is ang lines daw po ng positive ay radially outwards at all times. Okay? So they will never cross kahit ano pong gawin natin. Okay? Next, sabi po dito, or kung mapapansin po ninyo, line never cross and at the same time, nag-o-originate daw po ang field line sa positive at mag-end daw po siya sa negative. Okay, paano po yun, Ma'am Dan, nangyari? Okay, so para mas maunawaan po siya, take a look at this drawing. Hindi po ako magaling mag-drawing pero pwede nyo na po siyang pagtiyagaan. Okay, sabi natin that the field lines starts from positive. So ano pong direction niya? Radially outward. So, ayan po. Okay, so radially outwards. Ito po yung ibig sabihin. Okay, and then, ano pong mangyayari? Somehow, na-terminate po yung field lines ni negative. Or somehow, para siyang na-absorb ni negative. Pero, technically speaking, ang field lines po ng positive ay radially outwards at ang direction naman po ng field lines ng negative ay radially inwards. Okay? So, yun po yung ibig sabihin. Okay? It originates from positive and ends with negative charge. So, sana po ay klaro po yan. Okay. Next, we also have uniform electric field. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng uniform electric field? So, syempre, from the word itself, uniform. Ibig sabihin, equal. Ibig sabihin, similar. Ibig sabihin, same. Pareho po. Okay? Or kaya constant. Okay na. So, pagdating sa uniform electric field class, meron daw po tayong equal strength and direction ng alin ng electric field po. Another thing, parallel field lines. Okay? Parallel field lines and constant acceleration. So, to explain further kung ano pong ibig sabihin yan, i-stretch po natin yung illustration. Okay. So, susundan po natin yung rules kanina na kung saan magsisimula daw po yung electric field lines from the positive and then mag-end po siya sa negative. Okay? So, gamit po yung konsepto ng uniform electric field, sabi po doon sa unahang bahagi, na ang electric field daw po ay equal, okay, in all directions. Anong ibig sabihin nun? So, kung ang electric field lines po ay magsisimula sa positive test charge po, or positive source charge rather, at ends with negative, ganito po yung direction ng electric field ninyo. Okay? Outwards, positive, and inwards, negative. Originates from positive and ends with negative po. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, class, pag naglagay po ako ng isang positive test charge sa point na to, point 1, or maglalagay po ako ng isa pang point dito or positive test charge, and another one po dito, which is point 3. Tandaan po, itong point na to, yan po yung tinatawag natin na point of reference, na kung saan, dyan po natin ilalagay yung test charge ninyo or yung sensor ninyo. Kumbaga, okay? So, kung mapapansin po natin, from point 1, point 2, point 3, magkakaiba po sila ng location. Pero since meron po tayong tinutukoy na uniform electric field, ibig sabihin po, lahat ng test charge na yan in different point of reference can experience identical amount of field strength anywhere po. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, a uniform field is represented by parallel lines in which they are equally spaced. Katulad po nito. Okay, syempre, assumption po na equally spaced po yan. Ha? And another thing, yung uniform spacing also indicates na meron tayong constant magnitude, while the straight parallel lines naman indicate the constant direction. O, ulitin natin. So, let's assume na lang po na yung spaces ng mga lines po dito, eto po, ayan, etong mga lines na to, ay magkakapareho ng spacing or kung gaano man sila kalayo sa bawat isa. Okay? And at the same time naman, yung direction na arrow na yan, na pababa, ibig sabihin, it also indicates a constant direction. Ng alin po? Okay, dagdagan natin siya ng istorya. Okay, halimbawa, okay, tanggalin ko po ito. Okay? Halimbawa po, maglalagay po tayo ng isang positive test charge at point dito. Ayan, ito po yung point P natin. Okay? At point P, lagyan po natin siya ng specific location para hindi po tayo malito. Okay, sabihin natin, at that point, yan po si point A. Okay? And then, ang mangyayari po, kailangang ma-reach nung positive test charge si point B. Okay, bago po mangyari yun, sabi natin that this positive test charge will experience identical magnitude of the field strength anywhere within the region. Okay, yung region na tinutukoy po ay syempre kung saan lang po yung abot ng field lines ninyo. So, dito lang po. Okay, yun po yung ibig sabihin. So, ang equation po natin for that ay E is equal to F over Q. Okay, ulitin ko. E is equal to F over Q. Force over charge. Okay? Ito po yung equation na gagamitin natin to calculate yung magnitude ng field strength in a uniform electric field. Okay na? Next, balik po tayo sa first law ni Newton. Anong sabi niya doon? That object at rest tends to be at rest, di ba? And an object in motion tends to be in motion. Okay, so let's make an assumption that the positive test charge po at point A is at rest. Okay, at rest daw po. Ibig sabihin, hindi po gumagalaw. Okay, and aside from dun sa statement ni Newton, sabi niya po doon na kung saan yung object at rest daw po will remain at rest unless, okay, may condition po siya, unless a net external force is applied. So, ano pong mangyayari? If meron daw po tayong force na i-exert dun sa object at rest, ano pong mangyayari? That's the time na mag-move na po siya. From where? From point A, mag-move na po siya dito to reach point B. So, ibig sabihin, yung force na yan ay gaano kalakas. Ano yung magnitude na yon? So, syempre, coming from this equation, i-derive lang po natin. So, it will give us EQ. Okay? Ibig sabihin, force is equal to the product of your EQ. Okay? So, itong force na to, ito po yung magdidictate ng movement ng positive test charge at rest at point A para ma-reach niya po yung point B. Okay, now, may nabanggit po doon that in a uniform field, meron daw po tayong constant acceleration. Okay, tandaan po constant acceleration. So pag sinabi natin constant acceleration class, mag-change na po ng location yung object ninyo or yung test charge natin into ay in particular. So from point A to point B. So nag-move po siya. Ang tanong, anong gagamitin natin na equation? Okay. So gagamitin po natin ito, yung ating force is equal to EQ. Sa paanong paraan? Ito po. So makinig na mabuti. So we have ay, wait lang po. Ayan. So, we have F. Ayan. F is equal to EQ. Anong ibig sabihin nito? we need to exert a certain amount of force para daw po mag-move yung ating positive test charge at point A to point B. Okay, yun po yung ibig sabihin. But now, we are tasked to calculate ano ba yung kanyang acceleration. So, makinig na mabuti. So, i-consider natin itong mga equations na to. Okay? So, kung i-consider natin yung equations na to, eto po, F is equal to EQ. Ano po ba yung isang equation na po pwede nating ma-relate si F? Okay, explanation po. Second law of motion. Ano po yun? Force is equal to mass times acceleration. Okay? So, yan po. F is equal to ma. Now, gagamitin po natin to. Si ma na yan. Ide-derive po natin para makuha si acceleration. So, paano po? Ito po yan. So, makinig po na mabuti. Okay? So, i-expand po natin ito pong ating, wait lang. So, i-expand po natin yung ating equation. Okay, so from F is equal to EQ, papalitan natin ngayon si F ng MA. Ulitin natin, F is equal to MA. Papalit natin yan. So that's MA equals E times Q. Anong hinahanap? Acceleration. So i-divide po natin yan both equation by M. So ika-cancel natin. So acceleration is equal to EQ over M. Okay? So ibig sabihin, in a uniform electric field, it is possible for us to calculate or identify that acceleration na tinutukoy natin gamit yung equation na A is equal to EQ over M. Okay, sulat natin. That's A is equal to EQ over M. Okay, so tandaan po So, yan po yung mga unang equations na kailangan po ninyo matandaan at maunawaan kung kailan po sila gagamitin. So, ulitin natin, in summary po, in a uniform electric field, anywhere within this area, makaka-experience daw po ng identical magnitude of field strength yung ating positive test charge, which can be calculated by using E is equal to F over Q. Now, sabihin po natin na yung ating test charge, okay, at a certain point, let's say point A, ay meron po kailangang puwersa para alin po? Para mag-move po siya at ma-reach yung ating point B. So, mag-e-exert po kayo ng force. Okay. Now, nung nag-exert po tayo ng force dun sa at-rest positive test charge, ang mangyayari po, mag-move na po siya from point A to point B, which result to a constant acceleration. So, yung constant acceleration natin ay pwede po natin ma-derive using this equation. Okay? Ito po yun. Dinivide natin sa M. And then, acceleration is equal to EQ over M. So, ito po yung kailangan nating gamitin. Okay po? Maliwanag po sana yun Okay, sige. Next, let's now proceed to this one. Okay, constant acceleration. Na-explain ko na po ito. Ayan po. Okay, so, dinerive lang po natin siya by substituting MA dun sa value ng F kanina. Pero syempre, kailangan nyo pong kompletuhin ito. So, EQ is equal to F, where F is equal to MA. So, isa-substitute natin yan. Ito po. And then, nag-derive tayo. Ito po yung equation na lalabas. Okay. Next, ito po yung kailangan nating i-consider. Okay. In the middle region between the plates, makakalculate daw po natin yung amount of potential difference or voltage that is naturally developed between the plate. Okay, so let's imagine class a capacitor. Okay, ang capacitor po ay isang electronic component that can temporarily store that can temporarily store energy, okay, in the form of voltage. So, voltage. And then, kung titignan po natin or ida-dissect po natin si capacitor, meron po siyang tinatawag na plates or metal sheets. Okay? Yung plates or metal sheets na to, sila po ay maaari nating sabihin as the positive plate and yung negative plate po natin, in which eto pong dalawa na to, pag nagkatagpo po, they will create an electric field. Okay? And then pag nag-create po sila ng electric field, then ang mangyayari po as a result, naturally they can develop a potential difference or voltage. Okay? In which we can also solve using this equation. Okay? So, ang E po na yan equals V over T. Gamit po yan, pwede po nating masolve yung amount of voltage dun sa uniform field na yon, which is equal to ED. Okay po. So, ito yung magiging equation na gagamitin po ninyo to solve for the amount of voltage in a uniform field. So, therefore, meron po tayong dalawang possible units ng inyong electric field. Yung una, gamit po si E equals F over Q, in which it will give us newtons per coulomb. Kung ang gagamitin naman ay E is equal to V over D, then it will give us volt per meter. So, dalawa po yung standard unit ng ating electric field depende sa involved na variable. Kung meron pong potential difference, then that is volt over meter. Pero kung force and charges lang, it's newtons per coulomb. So, sana po ay maliwanag po yan. Okay? So, let's go back to our discussion po. Ayan, so na-explain ko na po yan. I-check na lang po natin kung ano pong ibig sabihin ng bawat, okay, ng bawat variables po. So, E stands for electric field. V stands for potential difference across the plate. And D stands for distance between the plates. Okay. Next, meron din po tayong tinatawag na work energy theorem. Okay, para mas maintindihan po natin yung relationship ng work energy theorem na to dun sa ating electric field. Let's have this as an analogy. Okay, analogy. Gamit po si gravitational, potential energy po. Ayan, gravitational potential energy, and at the same time, yung tinatawag natin na kinetic energy. Okay, so, kung titignan po natin, class, ang gravitational potential energy and kinetic energy, meron po silang one thing in common. Ano po yon? Pareho po sila ng unit. Ano po ang unit nila? Joules. Okay? Eto po. Joules po ang kanilang unit. Okay? So, magagamit po natin yan to understand yung relationship nitong tinatawag natin na work energy theorem pagdating sa electric field. So, i-explain po natin. Unahin natin sa salitang gravitational potential energy or GPE. Okay. Ang GPE natin, class, ang equation po nito ay mgh. So, ibig sabihin, maari po nating makalculate yung tinatawag natin na energy at rest nung ating object gamit lamang po ang kanyang mass, gravitational acceleration, and height. Okay, so let's make an assumption. Sabihin po natin na meron po tayong object dito. Okay? Yung object na to weighs 50 kilograms. Okay? So, yung object na yan is located 10 meters above the ground. Okay? If we are asked to solve how much energy is present in a 50 kilograms object 10 meters above the ground, so, paano po ba natin siya masosolve? Gamit po ito. So, substitute nyo lang. GPE is equal to 50 times 9.81 times 10. Okay, multiply po natin yan. Let's do the calculation po. Okay, so we have 50, and gamitin nyo din po yung inyong calcu habang pinapanood yung video. 9.98 times 10. Okay, and then it will give us, okay, a gravitational potential energy which is equal to 4,905. Anong unit? Joules. Okay, tignan nyo class. This object is at rest. Tama? Even though it is at rest, meron pa din po siyang energy in the form of gravitational potential energy. Okay. Now, anong gagawin po natin to make this object accelerates para ma-reach po niya yung point na to? Okay? Para ma-reach niya po yung ground. Okay? Para ma-reach niya yung ground, kailangan meron po tayong force. Okay? Na kailangang i-exert. Okay po? Dapat meron tayong force na kailangan po nating i-exert. So, ang tanong, ano po yung kailangan nating gamitin na equation para makalculate po natin siya? Okay. So, siguro nag-iisip kayo, ano kaya? Is it force is equal to MA? Tama po kaya yon? So, yun po ay malapit na. Okay, why? I-explain po natin. Okay, pag ang nasa isip po ninyo ay force is equal to MA, ang A kasi dito, ang tinutukoy niyan ay average acceleration, which is A is equal to VF minus VI over time. Okay, wala naman tayong velocity. Wala naman kayong time. So, anong gagawin natin? Okay, balikan po ninyo yung mga previous lesson ninyo. Explaining weight and mass. Okay, sige. So, explain po natin. Pag sinabi natin class na weight, ito po yun. Okay. Di ba pag sinabi po nating weight, ang tinutukoy po natin doon, ito po weight, ang tinutukoy po natin dito ay yung total gravitational attraction. Okay, gravitational attraction ng alin? Gravitational force. Okay? Ano po yung gravitational force na yan or unit niya? In newtons, di ba? In newtons. Okay. So kung babalikan natin, weight is equal to the product of your mass times g. So therefore, weight is equal to mg is equal to force. Okay po? So kaya naman, instead of using F is equal to MA, ang gagamitin mo ay F is equal to mg. So ano po bang ibig sabihin ng acceleration dito? Anong unit niya? ms squared. Anong unit ng g dito? ms squared. Pero yun nga lang, ang tinutukoy natin ay weight. Okay? Gravitational force. Okay? In representation no weight po ninyo. Okay? So, balik po tayo doon. Ayan na. Okay? So, instead of force is equal to MA, ang gagamitin po natin ay force is equal to mg. So, Mundan, ano po bang kinalaman ng force is equal to mg na yan? So, yung force is equal to mg na yun class, yun po yung gagamitin natin para may exert dito sa inyong 50 kilograms na object para ma-move po natin siya from point A to point B. Yun po yung ibig sabihin. Okay? So, i-times lang natin. 50 times 9.81. Okay? So, 50 times 9.81. Okay. Ang lalabas po ay F is equal to 490, wait lang po, 490.5 newtons. Okay po. So, ibig sabihin, we need to exert 490.5 newtons para ma-displace natin etong 50 kilograms object na yan from point A to point B. Yun po yung ibig sabihin. Okay? Now, sulat ko lang po para hindi ako mawala dun sa slide. 490.5 newtons. Okay? Bawasan natin ng other characters po. Okay. So, dahil nag-exert na po tayo ng force, ano po ngayon ang mangyayari dun sa object at rest na yan? So, syempre, mag-accelerate na po siya. So, from at rest, magiging in motion na po. Okay, magiging in motion na po siya until such time, okay, ayan na po, until such time, marireach niya na po si point B. Okay, from at rest, naging in motion na po. Okay, in motion. Okay, now, pwede din po nating ma-identify kung yung object na yan ay in motion, pwede po nating ma-identify gaano po siya kabilis. Okay? Gaano po siya kabilis. So, yung kanyang velocity. Okay? So, kung ang gravitational potential energy natin ay mgh, ang KE naman po ay kinetic energy or energy in motion, which is 1/2 mv squared. Okay, now, ang hahanapin daw po natin ay yung bilis ng paggulong ng object initially at rest para ma-reach yung point B. So, anong gagawin natin? Magde-derive po tayo. Pero before doing that, kailangan po muna ninyong maintindihan na ang GPE po ay somehow similar to your KE. Ano po ba ang kanilang unit? Joules. Okay po? So later on, marirealize ninyo na, oo nga, pareho lang po sila. Okay? So ibig sabihin, for us to solve for the value of your velocity, we will make an assumption that yung gravitational potential energy ninyo ay equal din po kay KE. So, gagamitin natin yung calculated value ninyo kanina. Okay? So, paano po yun, Ma'am Dan? Okay, sige. Eto po, gamitin na lang po muna natin po. Okay? So, yung ating GPE na kinalculate natin ay 4,905 joules. Okay. Ang kailangan nating hanapin ay yung inyong speed, 1/2 mv squared. Okay? Ide-derive lang po natin muna. Okay? So, this is 4,905 joules. Ang hahanapin daw po natin ay si V. Tanggalin ko na muna yung unit na to. Okay? Para mas ma-maximize yung space. So, equals 1/2 mv squared. So, i-transpose muna natin si 2. So, that is 4,905 times 2 equals mv squared. Okay, anong hinahanap? V squared. Divide by m. Ano po ba yung mass natin kanina? Ang mass po natin ay 50 kilograms. So, pwede na nating palitan ito. Okay? Palitan na po natin yan ng 50 kilograms. Okay, para medyo mabilis at ma-maximize yung space. So, that is 50 kilograms times V squared over 50 over 50. So, maka-cancel out na po yan. Okay? Pag na-cancel po yan, ang matitira na lamang po ay ito. Okay, so makinig na mabuti. Okay po, wait lang. Ayan. So, ang kailangan lang na po natin gawin, okay, ay isulat yung natira dun sa ating equation, which is V squared is equal to 4,905, okay, times 2 over 50. Okay, so since may 2 pa po tayo doon, we need to square both sides of the equation para ma-cancel po yan. Okay, now, let's do the calculation. Paano po yan? So, square root 4,905 times 2 over, ano po yan? 50. Ano po yung sagot natin? That is 14 point, okay, so 14.0071 meter per second. Okay, so let's now check kung talagang totoo yung sinasabi ko kanina na equal po si GPE at saka si KE. Okay? So, gamit po ito, isa-substitute natin siya kay KE is equal to 1/2 mv squared. Okay? Isulat ko lang po dito. V is equal to 14. Wait lang. Kasi mahirap talaga magsulat pag sa slides lang po. Okay, so i-delete ko po itong lahat ha. Okay? So isa-substitute ko daw po yun, na-calculate ko na value kay 1/2 mv squared. So KE is equal to GPE daw po. Okay, so i-check natin. KE is equal to 1/2 mv squared. Okay. So ano po yung ating mass ulit? That is 50 kilograms times ano po yung ating velocity? That is 14.0071, okay, squared. So, i-calculate po natin. So, that's 50 times 14.0071 squared. Okay? Answer, divide by 2. Ano pong lumabas? Okay? Ang lumabas po ay 4,904.9712 blah 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 joules. Okay? So kung titignan po natin, very very close po. Okay? So po pwede po natin siyang i-round off. Ano pong makukuha natin? Makukuha po natin ay 4,905 joules. Okay? So similar po siya dun sa na-calculate natin na value kanina dito. Okay, another thing, para lang ma-visualize natin yung tinatawag natin na work energy theorem. Okay, na equal po ang KE, kay GPE, at kay work. Okay, so paano yung calculation ng Ma'am Dan? Okay, balik po tayo dun sa unit ng work. Ano po ba yung unit ng work? That is Newton that meter or Joule. So gamit po ito, ano po yung ating equation? So that is force times displacement. Okay? Force times displacement. Okay? So kailangan ko na pong mag-delete ng naisulat po. Okay? Anyway, nasulat ko naman po lahat nung values kanina and sana on your ending po. Okay? So, work is equal to PE or gravitational potential energy equal to KE daw po. Ano yung na-calculate natin na value? That is 4,905 joules po. Okay, so dapat itong 4,905 joules ay makakalculate din natin gamit, okay, yung equation ng work which is force times distance. Okay, ang tanong, ano po ba yung distance natin kanina na ginamit? Is it 10? Okay, 10 po ata yun. So, let's check para hindi ko na matandaan. Okay? So, ano po yung force natin kanina kung matatandaan? That is 490.5 newtons. Okay. 490.5 newtons times 10 meters. Okay, so i-check natin. 490.5 times 10. Okay, ano pong lalabas na sagot? It's the same. 4,905 joules. Okay? So, Ma'am Dan, paano po napasama yung work is equal to force times distance? So, sabi natin, ma-obtain daw po natin yung amount of work done once na yung object ninyo ay, ano po, na-displace or nag-move ng pwesto po niya. Kasi kanina, dun sa illustration natin, yung object po ninyo ay nandyan, which is 10 meters above the ground. So initially, at rest po siya. Ngayon, nag-exert tayo ng force. Ano po ang nangyari? Na-displace po siya until such time na reach po niya si point B. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, nag-exert ka ng force, na-displace po siya ngayon. Ano po yung distance niya na? So, 0 meters na po. Pag-reach niya kay point B. So, ibig sabihin, nagbago po yung kanyang distance or nagbago po yung kanyang pwesto rather. Okay? So, balik tayo dito. So, that concludes that our work, our GPE, and KE are all the same. Okay? Pero syempre, we will also consider yung scenario. Kailan natin sila po pwedeng gamitin. Okay? Kung ang given lang po ay yung force at displacement at ang tanong ay amount of gravitational potential energy, go for this equation. Okay? Pero kung ang tinatanong ay amount of work, pero ang given lang ay mass and height, ano ang gagamitin? Go for the equation ng GPE. Okay? Paano po, Ma'am Dan, kung ang given lang ay mass and velocity, pero ang tinatanong po is amount of gravitational potential energy? O di pumunta po kayo at gamitin ninyo yung equation ni KE, which is 1/2 mv squared. Anyway, they will give you the same answer. Ang importante lang po dito is you know how to determine kung ano po yung given. Is it force? Is it displacement? Is it mass? Is it height? Diba? Or velocity. So, dapat familiar po kayo sa units. Okay na? So, in relation doon po sa electric field natin, in a uniform electric field, so kanina, ito po yung ating illustration. Okay? Na kung saan daw po ang ating field lines ay parallel at nag-originate po siya kay positive charge. Positive charge po. Okay? So, dun sa positive charge na yon, maglalagay ako ng point of reference dyan. Okay? Which is at point A. So, at point A po, yung positive test charge ninyo ay at rest. Okay po? So, dahil at rest po siya, maaari ko pong ma-identify yung electric potential energy niya using mass times G times height. Parang ang katumbas niya dun sa ginawa natin kanina ay GPE. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, using MGH po, pwede po nating ma-identify yung electric potential energy nung positive test charge ninyo at point A. As long as, ayan po, meron pong given na distance nung point A sa point B. Okay, now, sabi natin, this positive test charge will no longer at rest kung meron tayong i-exert na force, which is force is equal to EQ. Okay, anong mangyayari? Mag-accelerate na po siya. So, ang acceleration natin is equal to EQ over mass. Okay po? Now, dahil nag-accelerate na po siya, ibig sabihin, magkakaroon po ng, ng change dun sa pwesto nung positive test charge ninyo at point A, which is at rest, at dahil doon sa movement na yon, so magkakaroon po tayo ng another position for that positive test charge, which is reaching point A, ay point B rather. Okay, so at point B po, maaari po nating makalculate yung amount of work done dun sa test charge ng ating electric field. Okay, ulitin ko. We can calculate the amount of work done nung field or nung electric field dun sa positive test charge. Ano yung magiging equation? So, ang gagawin po natin, mag-derive po tayo ulit. Magsa-substitute po tayo ulit sa papaanong paraan. Eto po. So, makinig lang ng mabuti and then pag may tanong po kayo, i-address nyo na lang sa student assistant natin. Okay? Ito po yung mga equations natin. E is equal to F over Q. Where F is equal to E times Q. Okay po? Now, ang tinatanong ay yung amount of work done. Since from point A to point B, nagbago yung pwesto niya. Nag-exert tayo ng force. So, we have force times displacement. Okay. Ang tanong kasi ay work done, okay, work done by the electric field. Okay, ano daw po yung amount of work done by the electric field? So, ang gagawin po natin, yung force po, isa-substitute natin ito, yung ating EQ. So, therefore, your work is equal to EQ times D. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ito lang po yung magbabago. Okay? From MGH, para makalculate natin yung amount of work done, o pwede natin gamitin, work is equal to electric field times charge times displacement. Okay. Another thing, so since na-displace po yung object, pwede din po natin makalculate yung amount of its kinetic energy. Okay? So, makakalculate daw po natin yung amount of kinetic energy niya. Papaano po? Okay. Gamit pa din po si 1/2 mv squared. Okay po. So, 1/2 mv squared, magagamit po natin to identify yung tinatawag natin na speed. Okay? Or kaya naman po yung kinetic energy nung ating positive test charge from point A to point B. Okay. So, in summary po, ayan, in summary po, pag sinabi nating work energy theorem, which is in application to electric field, eto po siya ngayon. Okay? So, isulat natin lahat ng equation. So, electric potential energy is equal to KE is equal to work. What is our electric potential energy? That is mgh equal 1/2 mv squared equal EQD. Okay? Ibig sabihin, any of these equation, po pwede po nating masolve yung amount of work done, yung amount of energy. Okay? O halimbawa, ang given lang ay M, yung mass and velocity. Pero ang tinatanong, how much energy is present? Okay? How much energy is present using a test charge? Okay, then ibibigay yung magnitude ng test charge. So, pwede po natin gamitin ito, 1/2 mv squared. Anyway, ang tinatanong lang naman po is the amount of energy. Hindi niya naman in-specify kung yan po ay APE or KE. Ang goal, makalculate yung amount of energy. Okay, paano Ma'am Dan po ang tinatanong? Ay amount of energy present in a positive test charge. Pero, ang given lang po ay electric field, yung magnitude ng charge at yung distance ng charge. O di ang gamitin mo, EQD, ano po ba ang unit ng work? Joules lang din. Ano ba yung tinatanong? Energy. Na-specify ba kung anong energy? Hindi. So, ibig sabihin, any of these three equations will do as long as you consider the nature of the problem. Ano yung mga given sa problem. Okay? So with that, i-conclude na natin yung part na yan. Okay. So let's now calculate po the amount of electric field strength due to a point charge. Okay. Anong ibig sabihin nung due to a point charge po? Okay. Tignan po natin to. We have a positive source charge Q. And then meron kayong positive test charge dyan. So, ibig sabihin class, itong positive test charge nito, given its location from that source charge, makaka-experience po siya ng electric field. Okay. Now, Ma'am Dan, saan po nanggaling yung equation na E is equal to KQ over R squared? Galing po yan kay electrostatic force, KQ1, Q2 over R squared. Okay. Gamit po si electrostatic force equation, magkakaroon po tayo ng assumption na kung saan yung isa daw po dyan sa Q1 and Q2 represents your test charge. Okay? Represents your test charge. So, gamitin natin, Q1 is equal to Q or yung test charge po. Okay. Balikan po natin yung equation nung ating electric field in a uniform field which is E is equal to F over Q. Okay, paano daw po na-derive ito? So, makinig po ng mabuti. Okay, sige. Ito po siya. Okay, so isulat din po ninyo ito sa inyong notebook. So, hahanapin natin how is this equation being derived using our Coulomb's law equation. K, Q1, Q2 over R squared. Okay? Katulad ng binabanggit ko po kanina, let's make an assumption that one of this Q1, Q2 is your test charge. So, iset natin Q1 or let Q1 is equal to your Q. Okay? And then, i-consider din po natin yung ating general equation for electric field in a uniform field. Ito po yun. Okay? So, anong gagawin natin? Isa-substitute po ninyo si Coulomb's law dun po kay F. Okay? Substitute daw po natin. So, we have K Q sub 1, Q sub 2 over R squared. Okay, i-consider po natin to. Kasi sabi natin, we will make an assumption that one of those source charges po or point charges is Q or test charge natin. Okay? So, i-delete ko lang po yung isa at papalitan ko ng small q. Okay? Palitan natin ng small q. Ayan na po. Okay? So, Q, and then, tanggalin na natin yung subscript nung eto po. Okay? Tanggalin na natin para mas klaro. Okay? And then, all over Q. Okay? All over. Now, iaangat po natin si Q. So, kukunin nyo yung reciprocal. Tama po? So, pag kinuha natin yung reciprocal at inangat natin siya sa taas, dito po, ang mangyayari, that will become times and then 1 over Q. So, ang mangyayari, eto na po. Okay, erase lang natin to. Eto. Ayan. Okay? So, ayan na po siya and then cancel. Anong ika-cancel natin? Si Q and then si Q na maliit doon. And then, ang matitira na lang po ay E is equal to K Q over R squared. So, ibig sabihin, yung ating electric field due to a point charge can be calculated using E is equal to KQ over R squared. So, ganyan po. Okay? Yung proseso kung saan po siya nanggaling. Kaya sabi nga natin po, ang electrostatic force is highly related kay electric field. Okay? Going back to our slide po. Ayan, so sana ay alam na natin kung ano po yung nire-represent ng bawat variables. Pero ulitin na lang natin, E stands for your electric field, K for Coulomb's constant, Q for your source charge, and then R naman po ay distance from the source charge. Okay. Meron lang po akong idadagdag na kailangan i-discuss po. Kasi kailangan nyo pong malaman kung ano yung difference ng tatlo. So we have our source charge. And source charge, meron po tayong tinatawag na point charge. Okay? Point charge. At meron po tayong tinatawag na test charge. Okay? Kanina, tapos na po natin i-explain si test charge. So sabi natin, test charge is responsible in detecting the magnitude and direction of the electric field. Or kaya naman po, it represents yung ating sensor. Okay po? Sensor po. Or detector natin. Okay. Pag sinabi naman natin source charge, ito po yung nag-create. Okay? Nag-create or nag-generate ng ating space field na kung saan po pwede pong ma-detect, ma-sense, at ma-measure nung test charge natin. Okay. Pero, pag sinabi po nating point charge, nasa makinig na mabuti, pag sinabi po nating point charge, ito po yung type of charge natin which is fixed at a certain location. It can be positive or negative. Okay? Na kung saan it represents the region where another charge could possibly experience an electrostatic force. Okay? Na kung saan, yun po yung ginagamit natin na equation para ma-explain natin si vector F is equal to KQ1, Q2 over R squared. So meaning, yung Q1 at Q2 po doon, yun yung tinutukoy natin na point charge. Okay? Point charge po. Okay, sige. Now, let's now proceed to electric field in one dimension. So makinig po na mabuti kasi nga po, mahirap po or nakakalito yung pag-identify ng direction ng electric field, lalong-lalo na kung hindi po ninyo gamay yung ine-explain natin kanina na radially outwards at radially inwards. Okay. So, gamitin po natin itong dalawang illustration. Okay po. So, dito we have a positive source charge. Positive Q. Okay. Naglagay daw po tayo ng point dito. Point P. Okay. Ang tanong, ano po yung direction ng electric field? Okay. Same with this. Yung point P natin, meron din po siyang amount ng electric field. Pero, paano po natin i-identify yung direction nito? Ayan. So, dapat talaga, sinimulate ninyo yung simulation na binigay ko sa inyo last time. Kasi mas maintindihan nyo po siya. Okay? Gamit po tayo ng positive source charge. So, ang positive source charge po ay radially outwards ang direction ng kanyang field lines. So, maglagay po tayo ng tatlong point of references within the field ng positive source charge ninyo. So, ito po yung reference 1.1, ito po yung ating point 2, at ito naman po yung ating point 3. Super close po. Okay. Pag sinabi po natin class na variable P at kasama niya ang point, ang tinutukoy po natin dyan ay reference point. Okay, reference point po siya. Okay, so dyan sa reference point na yan na nakikita po ninyo, we will make an assumption and let's designate na yung test charge na gamit natin dyan ay positive. Okay, positive test charge daw po. So ngayon, i-detect ng positive test charge ninyo yung direction ng electric field. Okay. So, paano po kung wala akong arrows na nakikita ninyo dyan? So, tanggalin ko po. Okay, tanggalin ko. Now, kailangan daw po i-detect nung test charge ninyo saan yung direction ng field. Okay, sige. Sabi natin kanina sa example natin, the closer you are to the source field, ano po? The greater the amount of the electric field strength. Okay. And the farther you are naman po dun sa source field, the lesser the amount of electric field na po pwede mo pong ma-sense. Okay. Now, eto po, dahil super close po siya, si point 3, then kung ginawa niyo po yung simulation na binigay ko last time, eto po yung kanyang magiging ang tawag dito, representation ng field niya po. Masyado pong mahaba yung arrow. Bakit? Kasi it represents po yung magnitude o yung gravity ng strength ng electric field ninyo kasi masyado po siyang malapit. Okay? So, ile-label niyo po ito as your E sub 3. So, masyado po siyang malakas. So, yan po yung ibig sabihin. Okay? Ito naman, bakit po siya malayo, Ma'am Dan? Dinesignate natin dyan. So, ang ating field lines or ang ating field strength ay ganyan lang po. Maiksi lang po yung ating line. Bakit? Malayo po siya. Less po yung sa-sense or ma-feel niya na electric field. Okay? Ito naman, medyo malapit po siya. So, habaan natin ng kaunti. So, that is A sub 1. Okay? So, kung titignan po ninyo mabuti class, yung direction po ng field line na nire-represent ng positive test charge ninyo, yan po yung representation ng field lines mismo ng source charge ninyo, which is outwards. Okay? Outwards, radially outwards. Okay? Paano po, Ma'am Dan, kung ang source charge namin ay negative? Okay. Pag negative naman daw po, dapat ay radially inwards, papasok. Okay? So, halimbawa, may point 1 po ako dyan. May point 2 po ako dito. And then, may point 3 po ako dito. Ayan. Ano po yung magiging direction ng field lines ng negative source charge? Ito po. Papasok, inwards. So, ito naman, masyado siyang malapit. So, ang representation natin, ganito po. Okay? Malakas po. Ito naman ay dahil malayo, ito lang po siya. Okay? So, if you observe po the direction of the arrows, it is pointing towards the negative charge. Okay, bakit? Kasi nga po, sabi natin kanina, ang representation po ng electric field ng negative gamit yung field lines niya ay inwards, papasok po. Okay? So, yun po yung ibig sabihin. Okay, so going back, eto na po tayo. So, i-apply natin dito. Okay. So, as you can see, meron po tayong point dito, meron kayong positive and negative. Ito kasi class, medyo confusing po siya. So, ang gagawin ninyo, isa-separate nyo na lang po yung P. Okay? Yung point of reference po ninyo. Okay. So, sa point of reference po, ang E sub 1 po ninyo ay depende sa inyong Q sub 1. Positive po yan. Saan dapat ang direction? Ito po. So, label that as your label that as your E sub 1. Okay? Next, negative po. So, dapat ay radially inwards. Papasok dun po sa negative charge. So, ang mangyayari, ganyan po. Okay, so this is your E sub 2. Okay, another example. Paano po kung ganito, Ma'am Dan? Meron pong tatlo. Negative, negative, positive. Andito yung point of reference ninyo. Label this as your Q1, Q sub 2, and Q sub 3. Okay. Para hindi po kayo malito, tanggalin ninyo si point of reference dyan sa pwesto na yan. Ganito po. Okay, para mas madaling ma-visualize yung direction ng mga electric fields. Okay, ito po. Q1 is negative. Saan po yung direction ng field line ng test charge na yan? So, towards or inwards Q sub 1. So, label this as your E sub 1. Okay? Papasok po. Next, Q sub 2. Yan po ay inwards din. So, ganyan din po siya. Label this as your E sub 2. Okay, another thing. Ito naman po, positive. So, radially outwards, papalabas. Saan ang direction? Ito po. So, label that as your E sub 3. Okay? Another example, para mas maintindihan, kasi kailangan may matinding foundation po dito. Kasi pag wala, malilito po talaga kayo sa pag-identify ng sign ng electric field. Okay? Gawin nating 4 po. Okay? Sabihin natin ito po ay negative, ito po ay positive, negative, and then positive. Okay. So, let's assume na nandito po yung point of reference ninyo. Ito po si Q1, ito po si Q3, si Q4, and si Q sub 2. Okay? Ilayo po ninyo si point of reference para hindi po kayo malito. Si Q1 po ay negative. So, dapat po ay papasok. So, inwards po. So, moving to the left po siya. Ayan, to the left, papasok. So, E sub 1. Okay, next. Dito naman po, si Q sub 2. Yan po ay positive. So, away. Papalayo. So, eto po siya. So, E sub 2. Okay? Another thing, positive Q3 po yan. So, dapat po ay papalayo sa point ninyo. So, yan po ay dito. So, label that as your E sub 3. And finally, Q4. So, negative po siya. So, dapat ay papasok. Okay, papasok daw po saan? Radially inwards or towards negative po. So, that is eto. E sub 4. Okay? So, sabi natin electric field is a vector quantity. So, based dun sa mga direction or arrows na ginawa natin, pwede daw po natin makuha yung tinatawag natin na summation of E or yung tinatawag natin na E net or total. Okay? So, syempre, pag i-formulate natin yung equation, i-consider nyo na yung sign or yung mismong direction ng electric field ninyo. So, tingnan natin ha. So, electric field 1 ninyo, E sub 1 is pointing to the left. So, that is negative. So, negative E sub 1. Okay? Another thing, E sub 2 to the left din po. So, that's negative E sub 2. Okay, ano yung E3? That's negative E sub 3. Okay? Ano po yung E4? Okay? Moving to the left. So, that is plus E sub 4. Okay? Nagets natin? Ganyan po siya. Okay? Pero paano po, Ma'am Dan, kung hindi naman po naibigay yung mismong value ng electric field? Paano po namin siya isosolve? So, syempre, we will go back dun sa equation ng electric field. Ano po yun? So, i-expand natin yung equation ninyo. Okay, sorry po. Ayan. So, i-expand po daw natin yung inyong equation. So, wait lang po. Ayan. Sige. So, pwede po ninyong balik-balikan yung video natin kung hindi po ninyo or pag naguguluhan po kayo. Okay? So, feel free. Sige po. Ayan. So, eto po tayo. So, E net or, summation of E or E net po, i-expand po natin pag hindi po binigay yung actual value ng E, kailangan po natin gamitin yung ating equation na E net is equal to negative K Q sub 1 over R squared minus, okay, K, Q sub 2 over R squared minus K, Q3 over R squared plus K, Q4 over R squared. Okay? So, eto na po yung inyong magiging equation po. Okay, so, ganyan lang po siya. Okay, paano po Ma'am Dan kung, okay, lagyan po natin siya ng value. Okay, kunwari, nag-solve na po tayo. Okay, eto po yung mga nakuha natin na value. Kunwari lang po, hypothetical. Okay, hypothetical, ang nakuha po natin na answers ay ang mga sumusunod. So, E net is equal to, okay, kunwari lang, negative 5 newtons per coulombs minus 10 newtons per coulombs, kunwari lang po, minus 3 newtons per coulombs plus 20 newtons per coulombs. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin, ika-calculate lang po natin yan. So, we have negative 5 plus negative 10, so that's negative 15, plus negative 3, so that's negative 18, plus 20, so that's positive 2 newtons. Okay, positive 2 newtons per coulombs. Yan po yung ating E net. Okay, anong ibig sabihin ng positive? Based dun po sa position ng mga charges natin, nasa, ano po, x-axis. So, pag positive, ibig sabihin, it is moving to the, okay, moving to the right. Okay? Or kung ayaw ninyong gamitin to the right, o di gamitin ninyo east. Okay? Pwede po yun. Okay? Eastward. Or kaya, towards east. Okay? So, nasa sa inyo po yan. So, pwedeng eastward. Ayaw ninyo, pwedeng towards east. Okay? Pag ayaw nyo naman ng towards east, meron pang isa. Along positive x-axis. Okay? Pwede pong, okay, along positive x-axis. Okay? Ganyan po siya. Okay? So, Ma'am Dan, paano po kung nasa y-axis naman? Okay? Pag y-axis plus, ganun lang din yung gagawin po ninyo. Okay, sige. Example na lang din po. Ayan. Paano kung nandito po yung mga charges? Sige, simulan natin dalawa lang muna. Positive and then negative. Ito po yung point P ninyo. Okay? Ito si Q1. Ito po si Q2. Okay. Ilayo natin siya dyan para mabilis ma-identify. Si Q1 ay positive, so dapat po ay away or radially outwards yung direction ng field line. So, dito po siya. Okay, so that is, ano po, negative E sub 1. Okay, bakit po Ma'am Dan negative? Kasi nga, pointing downwards. Di ba? Nasa y-axis na po tayo. Okay. Whereas, eto naman, negative yung charge sa Q2. So, ano po ang direction ng electric field sa Q2? That is, ano po, radially inwards or pointing towards negative. So, E2 is also negative. Okay? Kung kukunin po natin yung ating E net, so that is negative E sub 1 minus E sub 2. Okay po? So, let's make an assumption. Kunwari, ang sagot natin ay negative 10 newtons per coulomb. Ano po yung final answer? So, it should be E net is equal to positive 10 newtons per coulomb. And then, ano po yung direction? Okay, ang direction po natin ay, okay, downwards. Ano pa po? Okay, so, ang ilalagay po natin na mga direction, since negative po siya, ay possibly tatlo. Pwede pong downwards, okay, pwede pong along, negative y-axis, or kaya naman, pwede po natin ilagay southwards or towards south. Okay? So, ganyan lang po siya. Okay? Sige. So, we're done with this po. Let's now proceed to the next part of the lesson. And so, I think enough na po siguro yung in-explain ko kanina. Okay? Just go over with this presentation na lang po. So, isend ko yung video and at the same time yung actual PowerPoint. Okay, sige. So, let's now proceed to, ayan, electric field superposition principle. Okay, so eto na po. So makinig na mabuti. Pag sinabi nating superposition principle, ano po ulit ang ibig sabihin nito, Ma'am Dan? It states that the net electric field, okay, tandaan po, net electric field at a point is a vector sum. So yun na po yung ginawa natin kanina. Summation of E is equal to E sub 1 plus E sub 2 plus E sub N. Okay? Of the electric fields produced by all individual charges. So, tandaan po ito. Okay? And another thing, pag sinabi po natin superposition principle in one-dimensional along horizontal axis, ginawa na po natin to kanina. Okay, sige. So, another round of example po. So, sana ay maintindihan na natin to ng gusto. Okay, sige. Ito po yung point natin. Ilayo natin dyan. Okay, point P. Okay, sige po. So, saan po yung magiging direction ng positive Q1 natin? So, away. Okay? Radially outwards. Away daw po, papalayo. So, eto po siya. And then label that E sub 1 since it is pointing towards right po. So, that is positive. Okay? Next, Q2 is negative 2 microcoulombs. Negative daw po siya. So, it should be pointing towards or inwards negative Q3. Ay, Q2 rather. So, eto po siya. So, label that as your E sub 2, which is pointing to the left. So, that is negative po. Okay, next. Q3 naman po is positive. Okay, pag positive, it should be pointing away. Okay, pointing away or radially outwards. So, that is E sub 3, negative po. Okay, sige. So, kung i-form natin yung equation, we have E net is equal to E sub 1 minus E sub 2 minus E sub 3. Okay, so, yan po yung ating magiging equation po. Okay, next, let's now proceed to, okay, paano po kung, eto na. Okay, paano po, Ma'am Dan, kung nasa y-axis naman? Okay, so same lang din po, ilayo natin si P. Okay? So, asan po yung ating Q1? That is positive. So, dapat pointing away sa Q1. So, eto po yung ating illustration. Okay, so, E sub 1. So, pointing downward. So, negative po. Okay, next. Q sub 2 ay negative. So, dapat pointing towards Q2. So, eto po siya. So, pointing towards north. So, that is positive po. Okay? And lastly, positive Q3. So, dapat away. Okay? Away sa kanya. Malayo. So, that is E sub 3, positive. Okay? Summation of E po natin or E sub net is equal to E sub 1, okay, negative po, plus E sub 2 plus E sub 3. Okay? So, I hope sobrang dami na po nung mga examples natin. So, sana po ay naintindihan na natin yung pag-identify ng direction ng individual electric fields. Kasi, yan po yung pinaka baseline. Kasi pag nagkamali po kayo ng pag-assign ng direction, mamamali na din po kayo sa sign. And eventually, mamamali po kayo sa final answer. Okay, so we're done with that one-dimensional. So let's now proceed to resolving components in two-dimensional na po. Okay, for two-dimensional, ito po yung ating mga rules. Okay, so tandaan po, ang rule 1 po natin, we need to calculate each field's magnitude using KQI over RI raised to 2. Anong ibig sabihin nito, Ma'am Dan? So, parang ganito lang. K, Q sub 1, R squared. Okay? Paano pag may dalawa, Ma'am Dan? O di hanapin mo, E sub 2 is equal to KQ2 over R squared. So, ganyan lang po. Paano po pag may pangatlong charge, Ma'am Dan? O di E3 is equal to K, Q3 over R squared. Ganyan lang po. Okay? Next. Okay, ano po yung second equation or second rule, Ma'am Dan? Determine the direction. Okay? Number 3, resolve into components. Okay, explain ko lang po ito. Determine the direction daw po. Okay, halimbawa, nasa Cartesian plane po. Yung electric field mo ay nandito. Yan si E sub 1. Okay? So, ang gagawin mo is you need to resolve into components. Ano yung components po niya? Ayan, ifo-form mo ulit yung triangle. So, magkakaroon kayo ulit ng E1x and then yung inyong E1y. Kaya po resolve the components. Okay? So, dito na po papasok yung lesson natin sa electrostatic force in superposition principle. So, may i-apply niyo po siya ulit dito. Okay. So, ano po ulit yung ating equation? So, this is a review na lang po. So, ito. So, we have E, or po pwede nating sabihin para mas masimplify, EX is equal to E cosine theta, or kaya E sub Y is equal to E sine theta. Ma'am, parang hindi naman ganyan yung arrangement nung equation natin nung last time. Okay, po pwede naman. EX is equal to cosine theta E, or E sub Y is equal to sine theta E. Wala pong problema. Pareho lang po yun. Okay? So, pahinga po muna tayo for 5 minutes siguro. Sobrang sakit na ng pangako po. Okay. So, to check your attendance po, kindly take screenshot of this, of this slide. Make sure na isasama natin yung timestamp, yung oras. Okay? Yung oras po ninyo. Okay, and then, i-upload po natin dun sa link na ipo-provide ng kani-kanya ninyong student assistant. Okay, sige. So, post tayo for 5 minutes, pahinga ng konti, and then, we will proceed to sample problems later po. Okay, sige. So, balik na po tayo dito ulit. Ayan, so, wala po ito sa arrangement ng cosine theta at ng ipo ninyo ha. So, kahit saan po dyan, possible po siya. Okay, so, wag nyo na pong intindihin itong equation na to kung malilito po kayo. So, meron kasing na-include na integral signs dyan. Halimbawa, yung I. Okay? I na yan. So, ibig sabihin kasi niyan, individual. Okay, sige. Tanggalin na natin yan. Huwag nyo na pong intindihin. Focus na lang po kayo dito. Okay? Ito po yung ginamit natin or similar dun sa ginamit natin during electrostatic force computation using their X and Y components po. Okay. So, after that rule po, pupunta na daw po tayo sa breaking each field into X and Y components. So, ayan. So, kaka-explain lang po natin. Okay? So, let's now proceed to, ayan. So, after breaking each field into X and Y components, i-add daw po natin sila separately by, ano po yung ating equation? So, kung nalilito po kayong intindihin nito, isi-simplify po natin. Okay. Ito po siya. Summation of E sub X and summation of E sub Y. Ano pong ibig sabihin yan, Ma'am Dan? Okay. Halimbawa, meron po tayong E sub 1x and then E sub 2x. O, di-add nyo yung dalawa. Pag meron naman po tayong E sub 1x, E sub 2x, let's assume na naka-form sila ng triangle. O, di-add din natin po E sub 1y plus E sub 2y. Okay, so, ganyan lang po. So, yung application po nung last time, similar lang po dito. Okay? So, sana ay nare-recall pa po ninyo yon. Okay? Advantage ninyo kung kaya po ninyong gamitin yung last time na discussion. And then afterwards, find the net field vector. Okay? So, anong gagamitin natin na equation? Ito lang po. Okay? Ito po yung, pwede natin yan i-simplify kung nalilito po kayo. It's E net or E vector is equal to EX squared plus EY squared. Okay? Yan po. Next, to identify naman po yung ating magnitude, ay yung ating direction, ito naman po yung ating gagamitin, si arctan. Okay, kung nalilito kayong gamitin yan or tandaan, ito na lang po. Theta is equal to tan negative 1 EY over E sub X. Okay, take note. Ito po ulit ay naka-absolute value kung ang inyong E sub Y ay negative, kung ang E sub X ninyo ay negative, then ang gagawin lang po, yung absolute value, i-disregard lang po yung kanilang sum. Di-disregard lang po yung kanilang sum. Di-disregard yung kanilang sign po. Okay, wait lang ha. Okay, so ulitin po natin ha. So sa computation po ng ating theta, ayan, using si arctan, di ba meron po tayong table, kung matatandaan niyo po yun, yung ating table relative to x and relative to y. Okay, so i-review lang po natin. So kung halimbawa po ang calculated value natin for, let's say, E sub x ay 10 newtons per coulombs. At ang E sub y natin ay negative 20 newtons per coulombs. Ang tanong, anong quadrant po yan? Okay. Ang x po natin ay positive, ang y po natin ay negative. So, nasa quadrant 4 or Q4 po siya. Okay. Next. So, kung ika-calculate po natin to, that's tan negative 1. Ano po si EY? Si 20. So, 20 newtons per coulomb over 10. Okay, calculate po natin yan. Okay? So, we have shift tan po natin. Shift tan. So, 20 over 10. Okay. Ano pong sagot? So, that's 63 point. Okay, delete ko lang po ito. Wait lang, kasya naman nata. Okay, so that's 63.434 or pwede na lang pong 63.43 degrees. Okay. So, magkakaroon na po tayo dito ng hypothetical answer lang po. So, hindi po ito yung real example po. Hypothetical lang po siya. Okay. Kunwari po, ang ating init ay ito. Okay. Example. Ang init daw po natin ay, let's say, 105 newtons per coulomb. Ang na-calculate natin na reference angle niya or net angle niya ay 63. Ayan. 63.43 degrees. Anong quadrant po siya ulit? Quadrant 4. Ano yung direction relative to x pag nasa quadrant 4? Okay? Ang sagot po natin ay south of east po. Okay, pero kung ang gagamitin po natin ay relative to y, ano po ulit ang gagawin? Ang gagawin po ay 90 degrees minus reference. Okay, halimbawa, yan po yung gagamitin. So, 90 minus 63.43. Ano pong sagot? That is 26.57. So, ibig sabihin, meron po tayong option 2 na answer. Gamit po yung direction relative sa y-axis. Okay, so option 2 na sagot, eto po. Okay, option 2. Okay, or po pwede pong E net is equal to 105 newtons per coulombs. Ang gagamitin po natin ay 26.57 degrees. Ano po yung direction? Babaliktarin nyo lang po ito. Okay? That is east of south. Ito po ay relative to y at ito naman po ay relative to x-axis. Okay? Ulitin natin. Pag relative to y-axis po, that's 90 degrees minus your calculated net reference or yung net theta or angle po natin. Okay na? So, in summary po, ito po yung ating mga equations. Okay, so, sinimplify ko na po kanina. Kung hindi po ninyo matandaan po ito, don't make things complicated. Balik po kayo dun sa binanggit ko kanina or sinulat po natin. Okay? Sige po. Okay, pero syempre, wag po ninyong kakalimutan po ito. Okay, sige. So, summary na po tayo. Ito pong E is equal to F over Q and E is equal to V over B. Ginagamit po ito in calculating electric field in a uniform field. Okay, at the same time, mukhang hindi ko po ata na-include yung ating acceleration, which is EQ over M. Okay, so kailangan po itong gamitin din. Okay, if you are asked to solve for the acceleration. Okay, aside from that, we also have additional equations po. Okay, na hindi ko po naisama dito using work energy theorem. Ano po ito? So, work energy theorem, it says that your work is equal to your electric potential energy, also equal to your KE. Ano yung work natin? That is EQ times D equals mgh equals 1/2 mv squared. So you may utilize any of these equations if you are asked to solve for the amount of work, if you are asked to solve for the amount of electric potential energy, and even KE. Okay? So just make sure po that you know how to identify and analyze the given in the problem. Okay po? So next, let's now proceed to sample problems na po. Ayan. So, for sample problems, okay, number 1, sabi po dito, a test charge of positive 3.0 times 10 raised to negative 9 coulombs experiences an electric force of 1.5 times 10 raised to negative 6 newtons directed to the right along the x-axis. So what is the magnitude and direction of the electric field at that point? Okay. So ang gagawin lang po natin, ika-calculate lang natin to. So using E is equal to F over Q. Okay. Ang tanong, magnitude and direction. So technically, binanggit na po kung ano yung sagot sa direction to the right. So i-calculate lang natin what is the amount of force. That is 1.5 times 10 raised to negative 6 newtons. Ang Q naman po natin ay positive 3.0 times 10 raised to negative 9 coulombs. Okay po. So, kunin yung calculator and then do it yourself. 1.5 exponent, negative 6, okay, over 3.0 exponent, negative 9. Okay, ano pong sagot natin? That's 500 newtons per coulomb. Ano po yung direction? To the right. Okay, to the right daw po. Okay, tandaan na, ito po ay isang charge lang, pero still may direction po siya. Hindi po ito katulad ng electrostatic force na i-describe ninyo kung repulsive or attractive. Hindi po ganun. Okay? So next, let's now proceed to second example. Okay. Second example, calculate the magnitude of electric field produced by a point charge Q is equal to negative 4.0 microcoulombs at a distance of R is equal to 0.20 meters directly to its right. Express the field with its directional sign along the x-axis. Okay. So, ano pong gagawin natin dito? Q is negative. So, the field points towards the charge. Okay? So, i-check po natin ha. Ayan. So, point charge of Q is equal to negative daw po. So, pag ilalagay po natin yung, let's say, wait lang, ulitin natin, point charge Q at a distance R directly to its right. Okay, sige. So, eto daw po yung ating negative charge. Okay. Sabi dyan, meron daw po tayong point charge at a distance R which is 0.20. Okay, 0.20 meters directly to its right. So, eto po siya. Okay, directly to its right. Express the field with its directional sign along the x-axis. So, calculate po muna natin siya para hindi tayo malito. E is equal to, ano pong gagamitin natin? May distance, may point charge. So, that is KQ over R squared. So, substitute natin. 9 times 10 raised to 9 times, ano po yung ating Q? Okay, that is 4 times 10 raised to negative 6. Tandaan po, microcoulombs, yan po ay negative 6. Okay. 10 raised negative 6 coulombs po. Okay. Over, ano po yung ating distance? 0.20 meters squared. Okay. Sige. Calculate po natin. 9 exponent 9. Okay. Wait lang po. Times 4 exponent negative 6 over 0.20 squared. Okay, so, ang lalabas na sagot natin dito ay, tanggalin ko lang po muna yung illustration natin dito. Babalikan natin yan for a while. Okay po. Okay? So, ang sagot po natin dito ay E is equal to, okay, we have 900,000 newtons per coulomb. So, express po natin siya into scientific notation. Since yun naman po yung bilang ng significant figure sa given, isa. So, that's 9 times 10 raised to, okay, positive 5 newtons per coulombs. Okay, sabi dyan, directional sign along the x-axis. So, since Q is negative, the field point towards the charge to the left. Okay, so, to the left po. Kasi ito po yung kanina, di ba po? So, ito po yung ating negative charge. So, saan po yung direction ng field natin? To the left. So, ibig sabihin, E is equal to 9 times 10 raised to 5 newtons per coulomb to the left. Okay, so sana na-gets po natin. Ma'am Dan, paano yan nangyari? Okay, sige, explain po natin ulit. Tandaan po, sabi niya dito, meron daw po tayong Q which is negative 4 microcoulombs at a distance of R is equal to 0.20 meters directly to its right. Okay, so ang assumption, eto po siya. Okay, so at 0.20 meters po, meron daw po tayong point of reference diyan. Ito po yung inyong negative. Okay? Negative charge, which is negative 4 microcoulombs. Okay? Ano daw po yung directional? Okay? Yung direction ng electric field natin. So, syempre, ano po yun? Towards. Okay? So, that's towards negative 4 microcoulombs. Okay po. So, yung calculated value natin na 9 times 10 raised to 5 newtons per coulombs, ang ending po, ang direction niya ay to the left. Okay? Kasi pointing towards. Okay? Papasok. Radially inwards. Yun po yung ibig sabihin. Okay? Next, for your activity naman or assignment, ayan, for your assignment, kindly solve problem number 3. Okay, so this will serve as your assignment or sit work po. Ayan, sit work na lang po natin siya. So this will be part of your written work. Okay po, so kailangan po natin i-solve ito, then we will just check it po during our discussion next meeting. Okay, so next, ano pa ba? Check natin to. Question number 4. Okay, so two parallel conducting plates are separated by a distance of D is equal to 5 millimeters or 0.005 meters. A potential difference of V is equal to 120 volts is applied across them. So, find the magnitude of the uniform electric field between the plates. Okay, so simple lang po ito. That's E is equal to V over D. Okay, ang hinahanap ay uniform electric field. Substitute V, 120 volts over, okay, 0.005 meters. Okay, so isolve natin. E is equal to 120 divided by 0.005. Okay, so ang sagot natin ay, and so 24,000 volts per meter or 24,000 newtons per coulomb. Okay po. So, yan po yung ating sagot. Okay po. Pwede din po natin siyang i-express into scientific notation. So, pwede pong 2.4 times 10 raised to 4. Okay? Newtons per coulomb. Ayan po. Okay? So, next naman po ay yung ating lesson in calculation po nung ating ano ba yun? Superposition principle. Or, eto po muna, yung asymmetric setup. Okay? So, I think yan lang po muna. I will be just, uploading second video lesson sa mga susunod na araw po. Anyway, suspended naman yung class tomorrow. So, kahit yung second video lesson na lang po ay to follow. Thank you very much po and please take time to watch the video again kung nalilito po kayo, or you can directly address your question sa student assistant natin, and then your student assistant will be consolidating those questions and then sasagutin ko na lang all at once. Okay? So, once again, thank you very much po and ingat po tayo. So, sa next po, ito na po yung aking i-discuss. Okay po? Thank you again. Ingat po tayong lahat.